Hello and welcome back to Romantic Renewal, your journey to lasting relationships with Sean Donovan and Mahesh Trivedi. And our lesson today is called When Games Aren't Fun. So remember to click the subscribe button and also the bell icon to be notified of our new videos when they became available. We've covered off in our earlier workshops about communication, and communication is about being honest with each other. It's also about the intimacy of revealing yourself to each other. When you share honestly and deeply, you will achieve an intimacy which binds you to each other in ways you didn't know was possible. Now that you know how to communicate with each other in a way which clears confusion, it's time to look at relationship games people play with each other. These games block intimacy and distract you from the truth of how you feel. For a truly powerful and intimate relationship, you want to eliminate these games if they are in your relationship. If you see them in other relationships, identify them and be thankful that you don't have them. Mahesh, tell us about the blame game.
Yes, Sean. Actually, the blame game is just described as. Do you know the difference between a failure and a mistake? A mistake is something you learn from and rectify by doing things differently in the future. A failure can be the same action as a mistake, but you refuse to take responsibility and therefore don't learn. So it is tough to accept personal responsibility for your own difficulties and mistakes. So there are a couple of things to reflect, to make a note, and move on. Number one, facing your feelings can hurt. So your feelings may range from shame to anger to powerlessness. So although your feelings are real, your perception of what caused them may not be real. So is it a failure or simply a mistake to learn from? So like it is said that if you think and accept as a mistake, then you will learn from. That is the meaning. Number two, realizing you miss the perfect timing results in regret. So regret that your action or inaction sabotaged the ideal job, like writing the book you always wanted or kept you from finishing school. And once you realize what you did, you can set a new goal and begin again, knowing that you can overcome the past. So a quick way to recognize the blame game is when excuse begins with if it were not for you. Like it basically it's just a like a past sentence that if it were not for you, I would have a fulfilling job. If it were not for you, I would have my degree. So these are times someone or something else is to blame, and that is called like a blame game. So if it was not for being laid off, we would have paid our mortgage. Blaming someone puts you in a place of powerlessness. Basically, it says that you are giving away the power. Now go deep within, access your personal power, and begin again. Yes, but a description of this game is I am going to show you that I am right and there really is not a solution. So there are three actors in the game. So problem number one is a problem needing to be solved. Number two, a person asking for help but does not really want it. And number three, a person or group who wants to help. I wouldn't be surprised if you have played this game with someone. If you were the one giving a solution, you know how frustrating it can be. And if you were the one seeking a solution, it's a time to discover that you don't need to be a victim. That is, victim means like a feeling of powerlessness, giving away power. So consider this idea. Number one, this game is usually begun by someone who does not really want a solution. They have an unconscious desire to show what a hopeless place they are in. They want to prove that the expert is wrong. So, and they have a hidden fear of taking actions in doing what is necessary to change the situation. Number two, there is a lack of understanding about the subconscious mind. So here something is really to be noted and to be understood, that if your intention is to not find a solution, your subconscious mind will support you by helping you come up with excuses, So blames are also one kind of excuses. If your intention is to find a solution, you will have an attitude of openness and be ready to problem solve. Your subconscious mind will help you find a solution. So the key to ending this game is in the hands of the one asking for the help. They will need to risk changing their mindset, like from not wanting a solution to being a genuinely inquisitive about what the solution is.
Yeah. Let me summarize a couple of those points.
Yes.
The first idea is that by entering into the blame game and by blaming someone else for your situation, whatever it is, you then not only are you not taking responsibility, but you're entering into this victimhood, and you're disempowering yourself by saying, oh well, this is their fault, or this is because this happened, or 50 years ago something happened. So you're immediately disempowering yourself by going into that mindset. And the other aspect which you're talking about there is like the person not really wanting a solution. They're just there. And one of the key things in counselling and pastoral counselling, one of the first things you'll learn is you're not there to solve their problem. Only they can solve their problem, which is the point you were just making. I can't solve your problem because your problem is your problem, right? So
Yeah.
all I can do is I can help you to explore the options to solving your problem. So let's talk about the person in the middle now, a different sort of relationship destroying game. The concept is simple. One of you finds someone to put in the middle of your relationship. So rather than sitting across from each other and using reflective listening, someone else is the go-between. When you find that mum, best friend, Dr. Phil, some other advice giver has become a part of your relationship, it's time to ask them to leave. Instead, you sit down and do the hard and rewarding work of facing what's happening ahead of you.
Yes.
You have the tools, so use them.
Yes.
Destructive relationship games are any pattern which interferes with honest communication. If your interaction leaves you feeling miserable and not knowing what your partner is thinking or feeling, you're in the midst of a relationship game. So we've talked about it. You know what to do. Set a time with each other and do reflective listening. So to summarize all of what we've talked about today, avoiding looking at your behavior and what's happening in your relationships results in these relationship games. These games are patterns of behavior in which either one person wins or no one wins. The relationship certainly loses. The solution to all relationship games is honest communication. This has been a heavy module.
Yes.
There is one more heavy topic to discuss. But before you go there, enjoy our next lesson on fun games to play with each other. But before you do that, just go back, re-listen to what we've talked about today, make a few notes. Again, if you're using the paid portal, there'll be some reflection questions to help you and some other download materials that you can take away. So until our next lesson, we'll see you then.